Hi, fourth graders. We are ready for our math lesson today, and we are on Module 1, Lesson 11. And today we're switching from rounding, and we are going to be adding multi-digit numbers. So we'll get that written into our table of contents, just like always. We'll be on page 11. Remember, fourth graders, anytime during our video today, you may pause the video to take your notes. Once your table of contents is complete, we'll go ahead and get to our note page for lesson 11. And our objective today says, I can use the standard addition algorithm with multi-digit numbers. So standard algorithm are our fancy math words that we'll need to know today. So we are going to start with this addition problem. You can see we'll be adding into the thousands with this problem. And it says 3,134 plus 2,493. Now I have it written here for you and it's lined up. But this is a trick that I want you to get in the habit of doing, fourth graders, and that's with your pencil, just drawing small lines into our place value all the way down through our equals bar so that my numbers stay lined up. That way when I write my answer, my ones stay in the ones column, tens are with the tens, hundreds, and thousands. If our numbers get mixed up, fourth graders, then our answers are going to be incorrect. So we're going to start here, and we're going to work our way across our note page today. You'll see this tape diagram. Fourth graders, this is something that you will become familiar with and that you've seen before, and we know that a part and a part create a whole. So we're going to figure out today what our whole is, because right now we don't know that whole. But when I look at my problem, I do know my two parts. So I'm going to take my two parts and write them in. 3,134 and my other part is 2,493. Now I know that if this part is added together with this part, I get my whole answer, and that's called the sum when I'm adding. So let's write that word underneath our tape diagram. The sum is the answer to an addition problem. Now you'll also see that we have a place value chart. So we're going to use our place value chart on this one, and we're going to create and use our numbers over here and draw each one of them into our place value chart. So let's start with our top number of 3,134. Of course, I'm going to start in my ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 in my tens. 1, 2, 3. I have 1 in my hundreds and 3 in my thousands. 1, 2, 3. So when I look at this number that I used place value discs, that represents 3,134. Now I'll take my second number and plot it in under this dotted line on our place value chart. So I have 3 in my ones, 9 in my tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we go to a new row, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 4 hundreds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 thousands. Now, fourth graders, I have both of those numbers and I can count them up, and that's the same as adding. So when I count my ones, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, so I'll write a 7 underneath. When I count my tens, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But wait a minute. How many tens do we have? There are 12. So I remember back to those place value lessons when I can bundle the 10, and that creates a new unit. So I'm going to bundle 10 together. I had 9 down here, so I got 1 up here. And when I bundle, that creates 100. So I drew a new 100. So how many tens are left? I have 1 2 tens remain. Now I can count my hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can count my thousands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll want to remember to place my comma. 1, 2, 3, wee. And my answer is 5,627. I can add that now on top of my tape diagram that my total is 5,627. Now we're kind of working this way again. Let's check out that standard algorithm one more time. So just like I did over here in my place value chart, I'm looking at how many ones. 4 ones plus 3 ones. 4 ones plus 3 ones equals 7 ones. 3 tens plus 9 tens. Over here, I remember this is where I bundled, and I had 12. So when I bundled, I had 2 that were remaining in my tens, and my 1 was bundled and regrouped. And we regroup on the line in the next place value. So I draw that little 1 in the hundreds place. Now I have 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6. And 3 plus 2 is 5. And I'll place my comma. So our answer again, 5,627. So let's practice another one, friends. And this time we're going to work into the 10,000s. But before I even start with my standard algorithm, I'm going to draw those light lines between each place value so that I can keep them straight. Now this time you'll notice there's no bar tape diagram. We're just going to do our place value chart. So I'm going to start with my top number of 40,762. So I have 2 in my ones column. There are 6 in my tens, 5, and my 6 comes underneath. I have 7 in the hundreds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 0 in the thousands, and 4 in my 10,000s. So this top illustration of place value discs represents 40,762. I'll do the same with this bottom number. I'll start in my ones where I have 3. I have 7 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 in my hundreds, 0 in that thousands again, and 3 in my 10,000s. So fourth graders, we're going to go ahead and count our place value discs to figure out our answer. So in how many ones I have, 2 ones and 3 ones make 5 ones. I have 6 ones and 7 ones. Well, I know that that makes 13 ones. So I can bundle the tens into hundreds. So I will circle 10 of them. So I had 6 at the top, so I'm going to grab 4 down below. I bundled up 10. I'm going to draw my arrow and I add another 100. So how many tens remain? How many are left? 1, 2, 3 that were not bundled and moved over. Now I'm going to count my hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I got to 10 again. So I'm going to bundle again. And that bundle of hundreds turns into, you guessed it, 1,000. And I have 200 discs remaining. So a 2 in the hundreds place. Now I have 1 in the thousands and 7 in the 10,000s. 1, 2, 3, wee, for our comma. So my answer is 71,235. I'm going to check it in our standard algorithm. Remember, those were in our objectives. That word of standard algorithm are our fancy math words today. So just like we did before, 2 plus 3 in the ones is 5 ones. 6 tens plus 7 tens, I remembered, was 13. 3 tens remained, and I bundled and I regrouped it into one of my new hundreds. So I regroup on the equals line. Then I can add 7 plus 4 plus 1 in the hundreds. And I remembered again, I bundled and I had 2 remaining and I regrouped a 1. That became 1,000. Now I have 1,000 and 4 plus 3 equals 7 in my 10,000s. All 1, 2, 3, wee for my comma. 71,235. So remember, when I am regrouping and bundling, we want to be careful in making sure I get that in the correct place value. Let's move over on our note page, and we are going to look at this last one, and you'll notice we started by adding thousands. Then I added 10,000s. Now I'm adding all the way into the 100,000s. All right, friends, we can do it. And you'll notice this time I'm making my lines to keep it in order. I do not have a place value chart, so we are going to get started right with our standard algorithm. So let's go. I'm going to start all the way in my ones place always. 6 ones plus 4 ones equals, you guessed it, 10 ones. Already I get to bundle. That means I had 0 left over, and I'm regrouping on the line. So we always add our units from right to left, and we regroup if we are needed. 2 plus 4 plus 1, you're correct, is 7 in the tens place. I'm moving over to the hundreds, and I have 4 plus 7, and I know that's 11, which means when I bundle and regroup, I have 1 left, and 1 is regrouped. 7 plus 8 plus 1 is 16, so I will write my 6 and regroup my 1. 0 plus 2 plus 1 is, you're right, 3, and 2 plus 1 is 3. Remember, I am working from right to left, always starting in my ones and working over. So my answer, I'll have to check my commas, 1, 2, 3, we, is 336,170. I had to regroup several times as I was able to bundle over because of that 10. All right, friends, we are going to work on a word problem today. We are going to be seeing these much more often, especially this week, so hang in there with me. Our family took a road trip. The first week we drove 1,907 miles. The second week we drove 3,297 miles. How many miles did we drive in all? Now my directions say we're going to do R, D, W, read, draw, write. So we need to mark up our question. So I'm going to circle my numbers that I see. I see 1,907 miles. And I see 3,297 miles. I'm going to underline my question, how many miles did we drive in all? And I'm going to think about, did I see any clue words? And I did. I see this in all. That tells me I'm going to add. Well, that's what we've been practicing, so let's start writing our numbers. I'm going to write 1,907. Notice how I wrote it with some space in between our digits. And 3,297. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw my place value lines so I get nice and lined up. And we will be ready to add. I start in my ones. 7 plus 7 is 14. So that means my 4 gets to stay in my ones. My 1 gets regrouped. Now I have 0 plus 9 plus 1 is 10. 0 stays behind. 1 gets regrouped. 9 plus 2 plus 1 is 12. You were right. Now I have 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. I'll make sure I have my comma. The only other thing I'm missing, friends, is a complete sentence. I showed my work for my D. Draw your model, show your work. W, I am writing my answer in a complete sentence. We drove 5,204, don't forget your label, miles in all. And there is how we took our word problem. We showed our work and we wrote our answer in a complete sentence. Great work today, fourth graders.